Hi guys, so we've just finished the 8-hour seminar, first day of Beat Your Addictions with Chris Hill, and I really do think after today, and watching him on social media, that Chris is a bit of a guru when it comes to addiction. So I've just got a few questions. First, what is your mission and why have you decided to do this, Chris?
I mean, the mission is to share a message, is to share, excuse my voice, I'm talking all day, so I'm losing my voice, but is to share a message across the world as a solution to our problem. I spent 25 years addicted to drinking and drugs. I didn't think there was a solution, but when I understood about the mind, and I realised I was able to change. My purpose, or the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, is because I lost my twin brother to a drug overdose. He took too many ecstasy tablets on a night out, had a reaction in his body, and it shut his organs down and killed him. I was with him at the time, so it's the most horrific thing that I've ever had to experience. But coming through, or out the other side of that is that I needed to do something. And I needed to share my story and his story, and see if I could save people. Because I wasn't able to save him at the time. And to me it was just devastating. But do you give up, or do you say, no, I'm going to make some, I'm going to change? And that's what I've been doing ever since, for last 3 or 4 years. I've just been teaching. I wrote the book. I thought the book would be enough to share the knowledge, but it wasn't. So then I wrote a program. Then I started to teach it. I've took it around the world. Spoke in America, in Europe. European Parliament. Here at Westminster. And I'm just trying to get a message out there, and it's happening. The voice is getting stronger, the amount of people that are recovering, so it's getting much louder, but there's still a lot to do. And doing seminars like this to 100, 150 people, it should be 1,000. It should be in the O2 doing 10,000 people.
And I think you will get there, definitely, because I think the message is definitely needed for somebody. I recovered from addiction. I had a 10-year addiction with drugs. That then, and you talked about layers of addiction. So sort of all addiction is pretty much the same. It's just your sort of substance of choice. So I think the message definitely needs to get out there, that people can heal themselves from addiction, and it is all in the mind. It really is all in the mind. And I think a big thing you've talked about is the separation model, is like the mind, body and the soul. I'm a spiritual person, and the mind, body and the soul I've always known are 3 different entities. But when you talk about it with addiction, I think it really hammers home. So do you want to talk a little bit about that separation model, because I think it's really important that people know about it?
So today we teach separation model. This is really the foundation to what I teach. To understand that consciously we are not our mind and we are not our body is fundamental to understanding where our problems exist. You say that you're spiritual, we understand mind, body, soul. Soul meaning that I am the conscious self, I'm the soul, the spirit living in this body. Now, of course, I know it comes very close to religion, but we're not going into religion. We're just saying that I am a separate entity to this physical thing. And once you start to understand that, then you can start to unpick where the problems exist. Because if I'm not the physical, then my problems only exist in the physical. Either exist in my mind or my physical body. That's where my want and need comes from. But when I separate myself, then I realise, okay, so it's not me that has the want and need. I'm just experiencing want and need. So that means I have a choice. I can decide whether or not I'm going to go with that emotion or feeling, or I'm going to pick something different. And as long as we start to understand that, then we can start to use self-talk techniques which communicate with the mind, and then start a reprogramming process. And that's what we learn tomorrow. I'm going to teach self-talk. How do we talk to the mind? What kind of language? There's a specific language of gratitude and being thankful for the mind, but also saying we would like change. And the more you communicate with the mind, because what most of us do, we fight. I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do it. And we fight against the drugs or the behaviours or the people, but we're not fixing it, So we need to stop fighting and open up a dialogue. Let's work with the system that's telling us to do these things, and that is where you get change. And, so the separation model is fundamental, learning self-talk techniques, that is the reprogramming. And then after a short period, all of a sudden emotional detachments happen. You lose the emotional attachment to the person or the substance, and then you have the freedom.
Yeah.
You know, you have your memories and you remember what it was like, but emotionally, I just don't want to do it anymore.
You don't feel it anymore. It's
detaching.
Detaching that emotional attachment to the substance and the thoughts and the feelings, isn't it?
100%.
Yeah, no, definitely.
100%.
Yeah.
So it's really, really powerful. I don't know if you saw today, but people are having light bulb moments.
Yeah, definitely.
People are triggering.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point. They're going to go home and go, I've now got the belief I can try. I don't know how. Tomorrow Chris is going to teach me.
Yeah.
And that's what we do tomorrow. We give everybody the tools, and then they go home and they exercise the tools and they reprogram themselves.
Yeah, no,
So
it's really
powerful.
exciting, really
Powerful.
exciting. Yeah, yeah, and honestly, today I've watched so many people that are really stepping outside of their comfort zone and realising, you know, it's not as complicated as you think it is. It really isn't. It is as simple as sort of learning the techniques that can free you from addiction, from anxiety, from fear. I'm here for overeating, binge eating, smoking. I've come so far from addiction, but there's still other things that I need to work on, and constant self-improvement is where the key is, and learning different techniques, isn't it? And
100%.
yeah, definitely. So thank you so much.
That's right.
Thank you. And guys, buy the book. Like, I'm literally going to buy the book now, and I'm going to take it home and read it. I haven't read it yet, so buy the book. And if you want to contact Chris Hill, you're on social media, aren't you?
Social media, it's Chris Hill beat my addictions.
Yeah.
Instagram beat my addictions.
Yeah.
Just Chris Hill beat my addictions. You'll find me. So
Yeah. You'll see more of this guy, definitely. I reckon, definitely. All right. Thanks very
All right,
much.
thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks. Thank you.